also called polar light coronavirus, continues to spread around the world, prompting governments to step up and...
Hello, this is Medika Haposan, and today I want to explain about explanation text. Maybe many of you are asking what is explanation text. Rather than you are curious, it's better follow me during my explain about explanation text. In addition, explanation text is to say why and how of the forming of the phenomena. It's often found in science, geography, and history textbooks. So the first, I want to tell you about the definition of explanation text. Explanation text is a text which tells processes relating to forming of natural, social, scientific, and cultural phenomena. And the second, I want to explain about the general structure of explanation text. The first structure of explanation text is the general statement. The general statement stating the phenomena. The second structure of the explanation text is sequence of explanation. Sequence explanations stating a series of steps which explain the phenomena to show the starting the phenomena issues which are to be explained. This is all about the process of how flood happens. This is one of the features of the second structure of explanation text, namely the sequence of the explanation. And the third structure is closing. This is optional. Closing part is not listed in the general structure of the explanation text. However, sometimes the last paragraph of the explanation text looks like closings. It's actually a part of sequence of the events. It's not complete if you cannot talk about the language features. The first language features of explanation text is uses simple present tense. But before I give you an explain about what is simple present tense, I'll give an example about this topic. In last sentence, we see the text. Chocolate maker starts processing by roasting the beans to bring out the flavor. What is the relations about the sentence and simple present tense? We know that simple present tense is about the subject plus verb plus s or es. The chocolate maker, the subject, and start and s is the verb. And we can see and it shows about the simple present tense in the explanation text. We continue to the second. Second language features of explanation text is noun phrase. What is noun phrase? A noun phrase is either a pronoun or any group of words that can be replaced by a pronoun. For example, they cars and the cars are noun phrases, but car is just a noun, as you can see in the sentences. The third language features is passive voice. What is passive voice? We back again to the explanation text, namely how chocolate is made. So it back again to the phrase, are fermented, are shaped, are renewed, or are grounded. It is example of the passive voice. It shows that the passive voice is one of the language features of the explanation text. Next again. And then the fourth language features of explanation text is technical terms. Take an example. You can see a piece of the explanation text about how cancer is formed. The technical terms in this paragraph is DNA, mutations, nuclear and electromagnetic fungi, parasites, and the fifth is action verb. What is action verb? An action verb is type of verb. An action verb is a verb that the subject can do. If the subject can do the action, it is an action verb. Action verb can be in any verb tense. For example, the cheetah runs faster than humans. 2. The water churned and boiled over the hot flame. And 3. The fireworks exploded by the fire. Then linking word. Maybe you confused when hear what is linking word. Linking words help you to connect ideas and sentences when you speak or write English. For example, and, also, in addition to, and besides. To be more clearer, I want to give you an example text, and after that, I will give the implementations of the example text. The example of the explanation text is about 1918 Spanish flu. 1918 Spanish flu. The Spanish flu, also known as the 1918 flu pandemic, was an unusually deadly influenza pandemic, lasting from January 1918 to December 1920. It infected 500 million people, about a quarter of the world's population at the time. The death toll is estimated to have been anywhere from 17 million to 15 million and possibly as high as 100 million, making it the deadliest pandemic in human history. The Spanish flu was the first of two pandemics caused by the H1N1 influenza virus. The speed of transmission is caused by viruses transmitted through the air. The speed of transmission and the extent of pandemic reached to the number of victims is very high. The symptoms of the Spanish flu are like the common cold. Sufferers experience severe colds, dry, cough, sneezing, and acute headache at the beginning, within a few days, followed by the muscle ache and high fever, nosebleeds, vomiting, chills, diarrhea, and herpes. A large factor in the worldwide occurrence of this flu was increased travel. Uniquely, this virus has two waves of spread. When there is spread of the virus, some doctors even use the momentum of the pandemic to increase treatment rates. As a result, developing stereotypes of European doctors tend to be prioritize patients from the middle class, so that patients are less able to fear to see a hospital or calling a doctor. Generally, they only rely on traditional medicine, which often also doesn't end up effective. This also exacerbated the effect of this pandemic on human life. As I promised before, I want to give you the implementations example of the text. The first is general statements. In this part, explain the general about the topic. Features in this part is first technical terms, second action verb, and the third noun phrase. The example of technical terms is pandemic and influenza. The example of action verb is infected, and the example of noun phrase is 500 million people. It's the general statements. We continue to the sequence of the event. This part is sequence of the events. With the definition, sequence of the events is explained about the how process about something, and this text part is explained about how 1918 Spanish flu is spread to the world. The language features in this part is first technical terms, second simple present tense, and the third noun. The technical terms, for example, like nosebleeds, vomiting, chills, diarrhea, herpes, and symptoms. The simple present tense is the pandemic reaches. Show the formula of simple present tense, and the noun is viruses and victims. And the last part is closing. This is optional, and many other explanation text is closing same with the sequence of the events. In this part, namely closing, because there is an in addition in this part. The language features is first linking word, the second action verb, the third noun phrase, and the fourth simple present tense. The example of linking word is as a result. The example of action verb is really. The example of noun phrase is some doctors and patients from the middle class. And the example of simple present tense is thus. It is three part of the implementations example of the text. And it's done. It's all that I'm explaining before is the all majority of the explanation text. If you want to view the example explanation text, you can see in the description below. And if you want to see the implementations example of the text, you can find it in the description box below. I will share a link of the both. Don't forget to always put your best foot forward. This is Medika Haposan from 17th High School, Jakarta. Thank you for watching. Still study and still practice.